What's going on, guys? cejaman back, and today we are taking a look at the brand new McFarlane toys. This is the 30 years anniversary. We have Spawn, and we have Spawn in the original sketch that McFarlane did in the late 80s. So this is not actually the first McFarlane figure that we've gotten as far as Todd goes. We've actually already gotten a Todd figure several years ago, and I'll show you guys a comparison that later in the video. Now, this I did get at Big Bad Toy Store. You guys can click on the link in the description. They have tons of the 30th anniversary Spawn figures in stock right now. So this is cool because it has the clamshell packaging, which I'm actually really happy that they're doing, because it, with the gold trim around it, it looks a lot nicer, and it kind of reminds me of the older figures that he did back in the day. So you got Spawn at the bottom, and right here on the top you can see there's a McFarlane logo and then a Spawn logo. You come to the back and it says Spawn and Todd McFarlane, original drawing. Oh no, I was wrong, I said the 80s. This is from 1977, it says on the top right. So that's the original sketch right there, and then there's good old Todd Father, and then there is a little bit of a bio right there, so if you want to read that. Sorry about the glare because the lighting, but again, if you're a mint on box collector, this is definitely a great piece to just keep on box. I do want to get another one of these because if I ever meet Todd again, I would love to have him sign this. So let's go ahead and open this up, and let's see if this figure is going to be a pickup or a pass. All right, guys, so this is the insert that's in the packaging, and you do get two bases on them. Again, I wish one would read Todd McFarlane, but it's just the same standard base that you get, and then the 30 years on the top left of this, and then again, there is the back. So this is pretty cool to have, and then you also get the collectible card, and the collectible card here does have, it's just basically McFarlane and Spawn, the early sketch of Spawn, and it does read 30th anniversary, or at least 30 with the Spawn logo, and it's got the gold trim. And then right here on the back, you have a little bit of a bio. So that's some of the extras that you get, and then you get accessories with each figure. So first figure we'll take a look at is going to be Spawn. So you get these green effects here, and these are something that we got back in I think it was Mortal Kombat, the Spawn Mortal Kombat figure. So this is just something that pegs into Spawn's hand to do the necroplasm effects. You get two of these, but I always like these. I think these are pretty cool. And then Spawn does come with some extra pairs of hands here. So you have this one, which almost looks like a web shooter hand, and then you have a closed fist. Well, it's not a closed fist. This is going to be one that holds on to the weapon just like that. That's pretty much how he holds on to the necroplasm. And then Spawn. So let's take a look at this guy. So this is the original design for McFarlane's Spawn. So it for the most part, the design of the suit looks the same, but the color scheme on him is a lot different, and that head sculpt looks different. It almost does look like kind of like a Spider-Man, but all this here, this is all sculpted on the head sculpt. It does look really good. So you have the yellow eyes with the red outline, and then the mask piece. The head looks a little bit more like on the chunkier side. And then you have the collar here, which is just a soft rubber. And then you have these little circles right here, which are holding the cape in place there in the chest area. But the designs overall for like the original Spawn suit pretty much looks the same. And then he's got a little bit of texturing in the chest. He does have a little bit of that diaper right here, which is a little annoying, but he does have the diaper butt a bit. So you have there's the underside, or the backside of the figure. Here's the underside of the cape. It's like a maroon color. And then here's the cape itself. So it is a soft plastic material, and it kind of scoops in the front. So you can see it kind of goes inward like that. Now, he's doing cloth capes with a lot of the DC figures. So I'm hoping down the line that he gives a Spawn figure with the cloth cape. He's got a regular belt. He's got black sleeves. Well, it looks black, but in the kind of like in here, in the card, it does almost look blue, but I think it is supposed to be black. And he also has like almost like a glowing effect on there. He's got red pants, and then he's got black boots with a skull on them. So it is a lot different than what we're used to. And then he also has texturing throughout the boots and a little bit in the pants. So I think it's a great looking figure. I don't think it's bad at all. The cape is a separate piece, so if you were to rip this off, if you were to rip this off right here, this whole cape would come off. So just be careful with that you don't rip that off. Now, as far as articulation goes for this guy, You can rotate the head. It also goes up and down. Arms go in and out, forward and back. Double jointed at the elbows. He's got an upper arm swivel. Hand rotates, also has a hinge. And then he's got 2 points of articulation at the waist. Legs go in and out, forward and back. Double jointed knees. The foot rotates, got the ankle pivot, and then toe articulation. And he also has peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison. Right here, you can see the difference. This is the Kickstarter spawn on the left-hand side. So this is a spawn that we're used to on the left, and then obviously the one on the right was the sketch. And you can totally see he does have some similarities to his original design, but the new one's a lot better. Plus, he has the spike collars. He's got the skull right there in the center where the belt would be, chains, and then he's got spikes in the boots, and the cape is a lot different. I mean, do you guys think this guy would have still been as popular if Spawn looked like this in the comics in the 90s? Let me know in the comments down below. But there's a little bit of a comparison for you guys from the 90s Spawn to his 77 sketch. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at some of the accessories that McFarlane now does come with. Now, first off, you get a pin, a hand with a pin here, which is actually a nice little touch. And the cool thing is you can also see he does come with his wedding band. The pin is removable, so just be careful with that. You can see there's a peg right there that the pin does peg into in the or peg hole, but he does come with a pin because he's always signing exclusives, right? You also get bare feet. Now, this is something I probably will not be displaying McFarlane with, bare feet, and plus I don't like the cuts that you can see in the screws. It does have articulation there, toe articulation, peg holes at the bottom. Now, he said when I was at WonderCon that his staff put this in without him knowing, I believe, and it's because he walks around barefoot. So there's that if you really want to display him barefoot. He also does come with a microphone. It's just all plain black, no real color or anything on here. So that's another cool little touch. He's got some interchangeable hands. Like over here, you have the peace hands, because he does do that a lot. I do see him doing that a lot. So you got some peace hands, and then over here, this one looks like it could be holding on to maybe his sketchbook. So you have that interchangeable hand, and then you have this right here, which is a really cool piece. Now, this is the original artwork for his Spawn figure, and this is like in a notepad book. So this is pretty cool. It doesn't open or anything, but you can see like the rings on top of the notepad. And then there he is. There is the original design for Spawn. So I think this right here is a really cool little touch. As for McFarlane himself, now, I can tell you right now that this head sculpt does not really look like McFarlane. I mean, maybe on some angles it kind of does, like the side profile, but when you look at him dead on, it doesn't really look like it. He is wearing a black cap, just a solid black cap, and then there is a Spawn logo on the top, which is pretty cool. And then he's also wearing, because he always does wear a Spawn shirt. So he's got the Spawn logo t-shirt. It's just all black. He's got a black belt. You can see the gold loop. And then some, looks like it's like a bluish color jeans. And then some black dress shoes, because he always does seem like he does wear black dress shoes all the time. He's got, which looks like a bracelet here. Oh, it's a watch. So he's got a white watch. It's kind of loose. And then he's wearing a lanyard. I'm assuming this is supposed to be some kind of like a convention like that he's at. So you got a lanyard there. The lanyard itself seems really oversized. And I don't like how you can see all these gaps in the hands. Like, look at this. Like, see the discoloration here? The screws. That's just something I really don't like, especially for a McFarlane himself figure. I just really don't like how that looks. I mean, the figure itself it doesn't look bad. It's just all these little, like it just makes the figure look, I mean, it's a toy, but it just makes it look like very toy-ish. He does, well, I was going to say, does he have a diaper butt? He doesn't. But as far as articulation goes for this figure, he does have rotation in the head sculpt. The head goes up and down, can tilt it side to side. 2 points of articulation in the waist area. So he's got rotation at the waist, ab crunch, same thing with the top. Arms go in and out, forward and back, double jointed at the elbows. He does have an upper arm swivel. The hand rotates and also has a hinge. Legs go in and out, forward and back, double jointed at the knees. And foot can rotate, go up and down, and he does have a toe articulation there. So it's your standard McFarlane articulation, but it just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Does this look like McFarlane to you? Look at that. Does that look like McFarlane? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, again, some angles it does, some angles it just doesn't. Now, I mentioned before, this isn't the only McFarlane figure that we've ever gotten. Back in the Spawn movie days, we did get a Spawn figure, and this is it right here. And I would say that this one, I mean, mind you, this was made in the late 90s. Doesn't really look like McFarlane, but I think it's a way better, I don't know, way better looking figure, I guess, back in the day, only because I just don't like how the arms look, how they has all those cuts. If it didn't have all that, I think this figure would look a lot better, but this is not, again, this is not the first figure that we have gotten for McFarlane. Again, this was a Collectors Club exclusive, and this was back when the figures were like 5-inch in scale, so you can see the difference in the height, but this is a special edition Todd the artist figure is what they called it. And then right here on the back, it's just the movie Maniacs. But they did it in this scale, and they also did it in a smaller scale. So it is not the first Spawn figure or McFarlane figure, Todd McFarlane figure that we have gotten. If you want to display McFarlane holding onto his microphone, like if he's just talking at a panel, then you can, he holds onto it perfect. So that is actually pretty cool. You can display him like that if you really wanted to. Now, I honestly, personally, am probably going to display my McFarlane figure like this, holding on to his original design with the pin in his hand. I think that is the pose that, I think this looks a lot better this way. I mean, this, either the pin in his hand or the sketch in his hand and him holding onto a microphone. The bare feet, I don't think I'm going to do. But if you wanted to do barefoot, I mean, you can have one barefoot and one shoe on. I mean, if you guys have a foot fetish, a McFarlane foot fetish, then there you go. You can display him barefoot. Again, it just, there's like a gap right there. And that's just one thing I do not like, the gaps. And he has it right there as well. But what are you going to do? And there you go, guys. There's my quick little review. Today we're taking a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys Spawn 30th Anniversary. We have Spawn, the original design, on the left-hand side, and Todd McFarlane on the right-hand side. This is supposed to be Todd nowadays, not a younger Todd. I think it's a great set. I personally do think it's a great set, especially if you're going to leave it on card. The Spawn figure's fine. There's nothing wrong with the Spawn figure. Again, it's his original design. I think it's cool to have a figure like this. I wish you would have given us a cloth cape, though, but either way, it is a good figure. And the color does look black, like on the outfit, but I think it's supposed to be like a bluish black. Probably won't be using the effects that he comes with. I just don't like it personally for this figure, but I think it looks awesome. The McFarlane figure, again, would be fine if it didn't have that issue with the skin tone, with all those, cuts and, the screws and everything showing the gaps between the hands and the pegs and the feet and the pegs. That's just the only thing that really turns me off about this figure. It's kind of crazy that Todd can, go lazy, even on his own figure. Well, maybe not so Todd. Maybe it's the people that are making these figures. But either way, I do think this is an awesome set. And if you're a McFarlane fan, you're definitely going to want this in your collection. So you guys in the comments down below, let me know if this is a pickup. Is it a pass? Do you guys have it? Are you guys planning on getting it? And again, if you do, use my link in the description down below for Big Bad Toy Store. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you soon. Later.